From exposing a company for exploiting people's mental health,
their counselors was really questionable, with all kinds of crazy stories,
to dissing the empire behind every kid's favorite YouTube channel.
This is the same song as earlier. It's just rehashed content. Who would do that? I would never do that.
In a world where major companies think that they're untouchable and can get away with anything, PewDiePie is the one who brings them crashing back to the real world. And these are arrogant companies that PewDiePie called out. Back in 2018, it felt like every YouTuber suddenly had the same sponsor. And no, it wasn't some mobile game. It was actually BetterHelp.
BetterHelp. BetterHelp. BetterHelp. View BetterHelp. 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 BetterHelp.
BetterHelp is basically an online therapy platform letting people get consulting without ever leaving home. After its launch in 2013, BetterHelp claimed to conduct over 33 million therapy sessions and over 2,000 counselors in just 5 years. And in the same year, the company was reportedly making around $60 million in revenue and started sponsoring some of the biggest YouTubers on the platform. And at that point, it felt like YouTube was sponsored by one company. But while most big YouTubers were pushing their fans to sign up on BetterHelp, the biggest YouTuber at the time started sensing something wasn't right. In a video titled "We Need to Talk About YouTubers Promoting This," PewDiePie decided to explain what exactly he thinks is wrong about BetterHelp.
What am I talking about? Well, of course, BetterHelp. You've already heard about it from your favorite YouTuber.
To start things off, PewDiePie showed just how much BetterHelp was advertising, with ads popping up everywhere online.
There is a list of over 100 YouTubers who have promoted this website. It's been all over Reddit, my own subreddit. I always see these ads. Try online therapy. Try online therapy and you too can grow a magnificent beard just like this guy.
And then PewDiePie pointed out that even though BetterHelp calls itself a cheaper online therapy service, its own terms of service tell a very different story.
In their own terms of service, they acknowledge that if you are using this site, it is not a complete substitute for face-to-face examination and for a session by a licensed qualified professional. So it's marketed as a cheaper substitute for therapy, when in reality, it's a luxury.
PewDiePie went on to show BetterHelp's marketing didn't match what users were actually getting.
BetterHelp also says that we'll find you an online therapist. You just do this quick questionnaire and we'll find the right person for you. But in their terms of service, they also say, we cannot assess whether the use of the counselor is right and suitable for your needs. So what do? They don't take accountability for anything. You can find a therapist that does phone calls or texting by yourself.
But things took a serious turn when PewDiePie exposed them for sharing people's personal data.
The cherry on the top here is that in their terms of service, they can share your data. And anything talking about mental health related, that's really not a problem if that's public information, right?
And PewDiePie didn't just stop there and decided to tell just how much money other YouTubers were making to promote BetterHelp.
YouTubers have been paid $200 per person that they get to sign up for BetterHelp. $200. That's a lot of money. Just get 1,000 people signing up, you just made $200,000. So obviously you're highly incentivized to tell people to sign up for this service.
And after that, PewDiePie explained how BetterHelp can provide a better service without exploiting the people with real issues.
If a service like BetterHelp existed, they should take accountability for their counselors' actions. It should be in their best interest to make sure that anyone that signs up gets a good service. But in their terms of service, they say that they don't. And this is obviously because they're mass producing it. And they definitely should not market themselves as a substitute for therapy and then at the same time say that they aren't one.
But even after covering a serious topic, Felix ended the video the only way he knows how, by making it funny.
I mean, you can't just treat your fans like dollar signs. What kind of person would do that? It's disgusting, and I don't understand why anyone would do that.
After PewDiePie called them out, BetterHelp was suddenly being questioned everywhere. On Reddit, multiple posts started popping up where users shared their negative experience with BetterHelp. People talked about being matched with therapists who barely responded, sessions getting abruptly cancelled, and customer support that felt impossible to reach. And some users even shared stories where their BetterHelp therapist didn't take them seriously, with one user being told that they couldn't be depressed because their cheekbones looked nice. But BetterHelp's problems didn't stop there, because in 2023, things got really serious when the US Federal Trade Commission stepped in and alleged that BetterHelp had been sharing users' personal information like email addresses, IP addresses, and even responses from mental health forums with major advertising platforms like Facebook, Snapchat, and Pinterest. And this was happening despite BetterHelp repeatedly promising users that their data would stay private. In the end, BetterHelp agreed to pay $7.8 million settlement, refunded some customers, and was banned from sharing health data for advertising going forward. And PewDiePie saw it all coming and predicted it years before it even happened. After calling out BetterHelp for taking advantage of its users, PewDiePie turned his attention to another YouTube giant, and this time it was every parent's favorite channel, Cocomelon. Cocomelon started back in 2006 as a small YouTube channel posting simple animation videos for kids, and over time it grew into something massive, with close to 200 million subscribers and over 200 billion total views. With catchy songs and bright 3D animations, Cocomelon became a lifesaver for parents, keeping toddlers engaged while they worked. But everything shifted when PewDiePie decided to make a video about Cocomelon in 2020. In a video titled Cocomelon, the new biggest channel on all YouTube, PewDiePie was shocked when he realized Cocomelon could overtake him in subscribers.
If my math is correct, then in 14 months this channel will pass PewDiePie and T-Series.
So that, wait, how many subscribers Cocomelon now? Is that 83 million? No! No!
PewDiePie then decided to check Cocomelon's YouTube page, and he was stunned when he saw the views they were getting on their videos.
Not gonna lie, their most popular videos, almost 10 of them have over 1 billion! 1 billion! How is that even possible?
PewDiePie had to see for himself why Cocomelon had become so popular, and he was pleasantly surprised.
She cares for me and you.
God damn it. This slaps. God damn it. I was expecting really bad on the nursery rhymes, but this oh yeah.
However, after a while, PewDiePie couldn't help but make fun of a few of the animations.
I love to be your daddy.
Really?
No! 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 Your faces are all wrong! No! I never wanted you!
And after watching a few videos, PewDiePie began to notice a similar pattern in all of them.
She cares for me and you.
This is the same song as earlier. It's just rehashed content. Who would do that? I would never do that. Every video I make, completely original.
PewDiePie realized it was only a matter of months before Cocomelon passed him in subscribers, so he had a message for his fans.
I did the math. We have about 8 to 10 months until Cocomelon takes over PewDiePie channel at the current growth rate. Subscribe! Subscribe! They're gaining 100 to 200k a day.
Over the next few months, PewDiePie began mocking Cocomelon, even using an intro and outro similar to Cocomelon's. But PewDiePie took things to a whole new level when he decided to make an entire diss track aimed directly at Cocomelon.
You started, so let's go, 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 go. Let's go!
YouTube was quick to take down the diss track, citing their harassment policy, but the damage was already done, and for the first time, people were openly saying negative things about Cocomelon. On Reddit, parents started wondering if watching Cocomelon is having a negative impact on their kids, and one user said how Cocomelon is affecting the attention span of kids, and even their doctor mentioned how watching Cocomelon is harmful to the child. But the controversy didn't just stay in Reddit and got mainstream attention. Multiple articles and experts claimed how the pacing, animation style, and repetition of Cocomelon is overstimulating the kids and even causing long-term issues with attention span. Later on, people realized that Cocomelon was not a small hobby project at all. It had been acquired by Moonbug Entertainment, a children's media company known for turning kid-focused YouTube channels into massive global franchises. And they do not just make cute videos for kids. Reports revealed that Moonbug relies on extensive background research to design content that keeps children glued to the screen, making it hard for them to look away even for a second. So when PewDiePie pointed fingers at Cocomelon, it was not just about goofy animations or kid songs. It was about calling out a massive corporate system trying to make young kids addicted to their content. Soon after, some parents started limiting their kids' exposure to Cocomelon, and while the channel is still popular, it no longer pulls in the billions of views it once did. But not every battle PewDiePie fought was against another creator, because the next fight was against legacy media versus the face of YouTube. In early 2017, PewDiePie paid two men on Fiverr to hold up a sign that read something questionable to show how far some people would go to earn $5.
Subscribe to Keemstar.
The joke was meant to be a silly way to make fun of the Fiverr culture, but it ended up blowing up in his face, because the Wall Street Journal, one of the most established names in traditional media, didn't find the joke funny at all. WSJ compiled clips from his recent videos, stripped them out of context, and accused PewDiePie of spreading anti-Semitic messages, and they didn't frame it as a joke or edgy satire. WSJ painted it as a problematic pattern and labeled PewDiePie an anti-Semite, and just like that, PewDiePie was on the verge of being cancelled. He started losing sponsors left and right, and soon even Disney cut ties with him, and YouTube Red cancelled his upcoming series. Almost overnight, the media turned him into a villain, and the biggest YouTuber in the world was branded dangerous. But this was never just about a joke. In a digital world, old-school media outlets were losing attention, while creators like PewDiePie were becoming the new mainstream. To them, PewDiePie wasn't just a YouTuber, he was a threat to their existence. So they decided to cancel one of the internet's biggest stars with a single article. But they didn't realize that PewDiePie would not go down without a fight. PewDiePie initially apologized with a blog post, but as the backlash spiraled, he realized words weren't enough. So he dropped a full video explaining everything.
I'm sorry for the words that I used, as I know they offended people, and I admit that the joke itself went too far.
He started out by apologizing and explained how the Wall Street Journal took things completely out of context.
I made a point that the media takes what I say out of context. They take that and put it out of context to use against me and to portray me as a Nazi.
PewDiePie made one thing clear, that this wasn't just an attack on him. It was a message from old media to every creator who'd risen without their permission. And for that, he had a final message for the Wall Street Journal.
I'm still here. I'm still making videos. Nice try, Wall Street Journal. Try again, motherfuckers.
WSJ thought the fans would hate PewDiePie, but his audience wasn't just supportive, they took the fight into their own hands. A group of fans hacked the Wall Street Journal's website and uploaded a fake apology claiming that the journalist responsible for making PewDiePie look bad had been fired, and that the WSJ was now proudly sponsoring PewDiePie. Although the Wall Street Journal removed the post within an hour, the message was clear. Big corporate media could write all the headlines they wanted, but the people still trusted PewDiePie. And that same year, PewDiePie crossed 60 million subscribers, while the Wall Street Journal's audience continued to shrink. But it's almost impossible to make a video about PewDiePie shutting down arrogant companies without mentioning the Great Subscriber War. PewDiePie had been the king of YouTube since 2013, holding the most subscribed spot for over 5 years. And for years, he had dominated the platform with his personality, funny jokes, and a loyal fanbase. But then, a massive Indian music company named T-Series began uploading content at a speed that no single creator could match, and suddenly PewDiePie's throne felt threatened. T-Series was slowly closing the gap between them and PewDiePie, and Felix was ready to go to war.
Another YouTube channel is taking over. That's right. In no less than in November this year. PewDiePie will not be the biggest channel on YouTube.
And that started one of the biggest trends in YouTube history. Subscribe to PewDiePie.
Subscribe. We need to destroy T-Series. I love you guys so much. I actually love my audience.
Over the next few months, PewDiePie and T-Series ended up in one of the most watched battles in YouTube history, trading places at the top of the subscriber charts as their number grew closer and closer, with T-Series coming as close as about 90.39 million subscribers to PewDiePie's 90.38 million subscribers. But PewDiePie wasn't fighting this battle alone. He had the support of major YouTubers like MrBeast, Markiplier, and Jacksepticeye, who started encouraging their audiences to subscribe to PewDiePie, with Mr. Beast taking things further by buying billboards and even wearing sub to PewDiePie shirts at major public events.
We did it! I can't believe we did it! ESPN literally just tweeted, and look, we're in it.
The war soon turned from just a subscriber race into a broader community effort to keep an individual creator ahead of a corporate channel. Around the same time, T-Series wasn't just quietly gaining subscribers. They were uploading content at an unbelievable pace, sometimes posting 20 or more videos a day. T-Series was posting everything from movie trailers to music videos, essentially flooding the platform with their content, and some people even suggested that YouTube might have been auto-subscribing Indian users to T-Series, which made the race feel totally unfair. And the only way PewDiePie could respond was the way he knew best, with a diss track targeting T-Series.
Bitch, lasagna, bitch, lasagna. T-Series ain't nothing but a bitch, lasagna.
However, after releasing the diss track, some people took things way too far. Some viewers began claiming that PewDiePie was attacking India itself, and a small portion of fans even called him racist or tried to cancel him, even though his words were directed solely at T-Series and not at a country or its people. And while PewDiePie was quick to clarify that he did not support racism or harassment,
but there's a part of this that I really don't like, and it's a shame because it is a vast majority of people, but sometimes in these comments, and you guys have told me this as well, you see comments such as like Indians or Indian C-word, just really distasteful, unnecessary comments.
He went above and beyond and raised over 250,000 euros for charity supporting underprivileged children in India.
Today we're gonna raise money for Cry, an amazing charity that changes kids' life in India. We're helping 9-year-olds.
And while PewDiePie was trying to turn this into something positive, T-Series filed a lawsuit against PewDiePie in India and got his diss tracks removed from the country. The lawsuits drew global attention, further fueling debates about fairness on YouTube and how big corporations can get away with anything. But in the end, on April 14, 2019, T-Series surpassed PewDiePie and held the top spot permanently, and then went on to become the first YouTube channel to reach 100 million subscribers. Even though PewDiePie eventually lost the title, he didn't go down without a fight. For months he kept pace with a channel backed by a huge corporate machine. He rallied a community of fans and fellow creators, and he proved something that few thought was possible, that even a single creator like him can challenge a billion-dollar company if his fans truly believe in him. But even though PewDiePie wasn't afraid to call out huge companies, there was one time when he didn't see the problems with a company sponsoring him until it was too late. In June 2019, PewDiePie started one of his videos by promoting an app that will become one of his biggest oopsies.
There's a new app called Nimses, where if you download it, your life will become a social media game.
Nimses was a new social media app with a concept where users earn digital currency called Nims for the time they spent on the platform, and PewDiePie was really sold on the idea.
Just imagine if everyone was using this. I think it's a pretty insane idea, and I'm really curious to see how it's gonna work out. So sign up, follow me there, invite your friends as well, because then you get more Nims. The idea is to turn human life into a source of financial capital.
Just a week after PewDiePie's shoutout, the Nimses app jumped more than 500 spots on Apple's ranking of popular iOS social media apps, becoming the 20th most popular app in the store. But it wasn't just a sponsored segment, because PewDiePie was actually using the app himself and posting on it.
You found me over here at Nimses, huh? That's epic. Follow me for more epicness. There will be much more epicness. What is this hair, Felix? What is this hair? It doesn't look good!
But the hype didn't last long, because almost as soon as fans started downloading the app, concerns began to spread online about what Nimses actually was. On Reddit, people started warning each other that the app asked for a lot of personal information like location and profile data, but also your IP addresses and even your passport number. As the criticism kept growing, PewDiePie found himself in a tricky spot. Fans were flooding his comments, Reddit threads, and social media, urging him to drop the sponsorship immediately, warning that the app could be risky and even dangerous for personal data. So PewDiePie had to make a public statement.
Don't download Nimses, the app here it's advertised. It takes all of your data and monitors it even after you install it. Now this is just demonstrably false, okay? Apps can't do that. If you uninstall it, so it's already spreading misinformation.
just in the title.
PewDiePie felt fairly defensive in the video and brushed most of the allegations as just mere rumors.
They're not paying me to defend these allegations, but you're just going off rumors. If you're worried about your privacy, by all means, don't sign up to a social media network.
But he made sure to apologize to his fans, showing them that he really cares about them.
If you guys didn't like the promo and you don't like the sponsorship, I'm sorry. I mean, I will try to do better to find ads that you like.
Over the next few years, Nimses slowly disappeared from everywhere, proving that people's worries were justified. Even though PewDiePie managed to address the situation and calm some of his fans, the Nimses incident became a reminder that if even PewDiePie slips, his fans will be there for him to call the arrogant companies out.